So do you guys are providing the desktop license for us to work on that?
Yeah, initially you can, it is a trial version for 14 days. Later we'll provide student license.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, so I have a website actually. So in that website, I am providing syllabus notes like this. So most of the time I will use Paint to cover to tell the syllabus and all this. And sometimes I will go to my website and I will try to show whatever we have here. Like, so I'll use the both Paint and our Tableau website notes uh, to cover the syllabus. Just give me a second. So okay. Yeah. So like in this course, we'll try to cover Tableau plus SQL. So SQL is like it is on database side. So like why do we use SQL means how to get the data into Tableau and all this. For that purpose, we will use SQL. So we'll try to cover Tableau plus SQL both. So in the SQL also like okay. So let me tell you so on Tableau side, right? On Tableau side, we have mainly two tools. We will be covering two tools, Tableau Desktop, and one more thing we have is Tableau Server. Okay, Tableau Server. So I will tell you why we use Tableau Desktop and why we use Tableau Server. So what is the meaning of also? We will use Tableau Desktop and Tableau Server both. We'll try to cover entire Tableau Desktop and part of the Tableau server. Why I am saying part of the Tableau server means if you go in real time, right? If you get any project in the real time, we will be having two types of roles. So one is developer and other one is admin. So most of the time we will be not into this admin team. Okay, we don't learn here. We don't do any admin activities in real time also. So most of the time we will do we'll be given developer work only. So admin is a bit difficult thing for us to learn. Why? Because to learn the admin, right? So we need to download the server, and we should have we should be good in the networking side, like how to handle the ports and all those. So it is a bit difficult thing. Networking it will involve in networking. So not only that networking. So for example, if you go to any company and if you get any admin role, right? So this admin not only handles Tableau, this admin also handles sometimes Power BI server, maybe sometimes click sensor, click view servers. So admin will be on multiple technologies. So because of that reason, it is a difficult task to learn the admin. So most of the time we will go for a developer only. So so mainly we'll be given so because of that reason as a part of the developer, so we'll be learning complete Tableau desktop and part of the server. So even though we are a developer, we have to learn some basics of the Tableau. Okay, so like how to publish our work dashboards to the Tableau server and all this we have to learn. Okay, so okay, okay. Hmm. Okay. And when it comes to SQL, right? When come to SQL, see we learn how to create tables. See, we'll just see the basics of how to create tables, and we will see what is the select statement, what is from statement, what is group by. Okay, so we'll see also like CTs, like common table expressions, we'll see, and we'll also see subqueries. Like all the basics I will tell you, like how to write subqueries and all this. But based on a scenario, maybe it will be sometimes we have to we have to Google it and we have to do more in the real time. Okay, but we will cover all these creating tables, also how to create views. Okay, creating views, and also we'll cover joins. Maybe joins means we'll be having different types of joins, left join, right join, and all the. So we'll cover all that, and we'll cover unions, union. And important topic is like analytic functions. So we have analytic functions, or we can call window functions. So we'll try to cover all these, okay, in the as a part of SQL. So SQL is most of the time it will be on the database side. Okay. Now, so when I say Tableau, right, in the Tableau, I told you most of the time, 99% of the cases are clients will use Tableau desktop and Tableau server only. So, but apart from the Tableau server and Tableau desktop, we will be having few more tools also. Okay. So, for example, okay. So in general, if you go for, so okay, and to tell you cover this one. So when I say Tableau, right, Tableau is a reporting tool. Okay. So we call it as a reporting tool, or sometimes we'll call it as a BI tool. So BI means it is a business intelligence tools. So business intelligence tool. Sometimes we call business intelligence tools also. So simply they will call BI tool like that. So we'll call this Tableau and all these are like business intelligence tool or a reporting tool. Okay. So if you go in the market, right, apart from Tableau, in competition to the Tableau, we will be having other business intelligence tools also. So if you go to our class notes here, in the other business intelligence tool, you can see like Tableau, it is from Salesforce company. So Tableau is similar to Excel only, like so whatever we do with Excel, right, we can do the same thing with Tableau also. Not only Tableau, other BI tools also. But there are some limitations in the Excel tool. It cannot handle the large data, and we cannot share it to the other persons that much easily. So because of some limitations in the Excel file, you will be going for Tableau, which is from Salesforce company. Like we can say MSBI, it is also a Microsoft company. Power BI, ClickView, ClickSense, OB is from Oracle. Like we have one more tool called Looker, which is from Google, and the ThoughtSpot. So apart from these 9 tools, we have some more tools also. But currently, I can say Tableau, Power BI, and ClickSense or ClickView is are in more. Most of the companies are using these 3 tools. After that, I can say like Looker and others. Okay. So I told you in this course we will be learning two Tableau tools, right? So those are called Tableau Desktop and Tableau Server. So Tableau Desktop is one of the tool from the Tableau, and Tableau Server is also one of the tool in the Tableau. Apart from these 2 tools, Tableau Desktop and Tableau Server, so we have other Tableau tools also there. If you go and click on the Tableau tools, I can see a Tableau Desktop, Tableau Server, and Tableau Prep tool. So these three are the licensed tools. So if you in the most of the time in the real time, most of the companies will use these 3 tools only. And in these 3 also, Tableau Prep is the latest tool. Like since 3 to 4 years, we are using this Tableau prep tool. So it is similar to a ETL tool. Okay, so but whatever we can do with the Tableau prep tool, we can do the same thing with Tableau desktop also. So for example, in some cases, we cannot do some things in some of the things in the Tableau desktop. In that case, we'll go for Tableau prep tool. So Tableau prep tool is completely data modeling tool. It is like a ETL tool. We cannot develop dashboards. We just do the data modeling only in the Tableau prep tool. But 99% of the companies not using the Tableau prep tool. They are using only Tableau desktop and Tableau server only. So these three are the licensed tools. And if you come to this side, we have free tools also. So similar to Tableau desktop, we have Tableau public desktop, which is a completely free version. You can download it and you can use for lifetime without paying any money. But what is the limitation in this Tableau public desktop is from Tableau public desktop, we can connect to only Excel files or CSV files only. We cannot connect to the databases like MySQL database, Oracle database, Google Cloud platform, right? So we cannot connect to all the databases. So I will cover what is the meaning of database and all those bit later. But for now, just remember, so that is the limitation of this Tableau public desktop. And similar to the Tableau server, we have Tableau public server. So it is also a completely free version. You can use it for lifetime without paying any money. But here also we have some limitation. What is the limitation means? Tableau public server is available for all the persons. So any person can go to Tableau public server and they can view the dashboards what you have created. So for example, if I create any dashboard, right, that is not a secured one. If I publish this dashboard to Tableau public server, anyone can log in Tableau public server. So Tableau public server is simply, I can say, no security in the Tableau public server. It is for general purpose. I can say for practice purpose, we can use this. And we have Tableau Reader, similar to the Adobe Reader, right? We have Adobe Reader, right? To read the PDF documents, we will use Adobe Reader, right? Similar to in that way, we will use Tableau Reader to read the dashboards. We have Tableau Mobile, which you can install in our Tableau Mobile. And from this Tableau Mobile, once you install this Tableau Mobile, right? Now from this Tableau Mobile, we have to connect to the Tableau server. Why? Because most of the some users will not go to the laptop and all those, right? So they will use mobile phones only. So they will simply install this mobile application and they will simply log into the server and they will view the dashboards. Okay. So, and after that, we have Tableau content migration tool. Most of the time, we don't use this in real time. Um, so these are the tools actually, free tools actually. So no need to learn about what's the content migration tool. The tool name itself indicating that migration means, okay, I have one Tableau server. If I want to migrate anything from this server to the other server, right, then I can go for this content migration tool. See, so I'm just telling like if you don't understand something here, right, that is not a problem for now. Yeah, tell me.
Venkat, like this migration, by using this migration tool, we can do like Power BI to Tableau or ClickView or
No, no,
ClickSense to Tableau. Only the one
only
Tableau to another Tableau, right?
correct. Yeah, correct.
Oh,
For example, I am using Tableau server, which is a window version. Later, I want to migrate to like Tableau Linux server. So in that case, if you want that type of migration, or from Windows to other Windows server also, we can migrate. But most of the
okay,
real time, we don't use this actually.
okay, thanks.
Why? Because all the migrations will be managed by the IT team. We don't do that generally.
Okay.
Okay, so we'll cover mostly Tableau desktop and Tableau server. Now I will tell you what is the difference between Tableau desktop and Tableau server. So before starting with the Tableau desktop and Tableau server, so first we should know what is the meaning of database. Okay. Anyone like okay, I will tell you. So what is the meaning of database? Okay, in simple word, for example, I want to save some person number in my mobile phone. Okay, so how where that mobile phone number will be saved means in our SIM card, or we have a memory card in the phone memory, right? So to store some type of data, to store some type of phone numbers or something. So phone numbers, person name, all these are called like data. So not only phone numbers, we'll sometimes will try to download some movies and all those that our pics, right? So that is nothing but a data actually. To store that data, we will use database. To store data, we use databases. Okay. Sorry. Okay. To store data, we will use databases. Okay. What is the meaning of we'll see some sample data in real time. For example, data means the data will be different for different customers. For example, assume that I joined Infosys company. So in the Infosys company, I'm working for a client called SBI client, SBI Bank. I'm working for SBI Bank. So in the SBI Bank, what is the meaning of data? So data means, for example, I am a customer to the SBI Bank. So I'm using some account numbers and all those, right? So account number and my name and my date of birth. Also, I will take some loan, right? Loan. I don't want to go bit too much detail. So we'll take sometimes loan detail, loan, right? So they will try to store what is the amount of loan I have taken and what is the due date for me to do the to pay the EMI. So all those so all those details will be, they will store, that SBI Bank will store all these details in a database. So all this is called data, and they will store this data in the databases. Okay. So when you come to real time, right? So for example, so SBI Bank is like comes under finance company, like that. So it is called in general, most of the time they will call finance domains. So SBI Bank is comes under finance domain, and we have pharma domain. Okay, we have pharma domain, we have manufacturing domains. So we have manufacturing domains like that. So we have different domains will be there in real time. So I can say one of the most known is like educational business. So education business also one of the type of the clients actually. So I can say I can say Sri Chaitanya, Narayana, all these colleges, right? They are having more branches. So as they are having more branches, it is difficult for them to handle the data in a Excel file. So they will use uh, databases to store the student information and all those. So all these companies will use the Tableau tools. Not only Tableau, we have some available tools, right? Business BI tools, right? So they may go for any one of the BI tool, or some clients may use both tools. For example, SBI Bank may use Tableau as well as Power BI also. Okay, so in general, like comparing to the Tableau and Power BI, what we come to know is like ClickSense and ClickView, it will handle the more data. So most of the some finance companies where there is a large amount of data, they'll try to use the ClickView or ClickSense like that. But presently, the trending ones are like Tableau and Power BI. Only few some clients still using ClickView, Looker, and all those. Okay, so as we are learning Tableau, I will try to always refer to the Tableau only. Okay, so all these companies are using Tableau as a reporting tool or BI tool. So so when I go for a SBI bank, this is the data. When I go for a pharma company, right, they have medicines. See, not only medicine, I'm just saying some general thing. If you go to Apollo Pharmacy, right, what they will ask you, they will ask your phone number, your name, and all those, right? When you go to next time, they will try to add some points to your phone number. Like that, they will give you some discount when you go next time, like that. So all this information they will try to store in their databases. Okay. Okay. Sorry. Oh, no need to go separately. Okay. Now, what are the different types of databases we will use in real time? So sometimes they will use Excel as a database sometimes. Okay, Excel or CSV files. So CSV files also called text files in Tableau. Text file. So if you want to connect to the CSV file, right? You don't see CSV file option there. You will see text file. So CSV means comma separated value. Okay, and these are called all file type databases. Now, so what is the limitation with this Excel file and CSV files are this can handle only small amount of data only. They can't handle the large amount of data, and not that is not only the reason. It is we can't share these files to the that much easily to the users. Okay. Now, most famous databases are like Oracle. These are old databases, Oracle database, and one of the most is like Microsoft SQL Server. Okay, so all these are most widely used databases, I can say, because these are older tools. Oracle, Microsoft SQL Server. So name some like Postgre database. Okay. Mm, recently we have some more databases we have, which are called like Google BigQuery. So Google BigQuery and Amazon Redshift. Mhm. Just give me a second. So when I say Excel file, these are called file type databases. File type or DBs. Okay, file type databases. When I come to Oracle, Microsoft SQL, and all those are right, these are coming under server type databases. DB means database, server type databases. Sorry, just give me a second. Yeah. Oracle server type databases means Oracle, Microsoft SQL Server, PostgreSQL, Google BigQuery, Amazon Redshift. So all these are called server type databases. So the advantage of Google BigQuery and Amazon Redshift are like these are coming under cloud databases. Okay. These are also a database server type databases only, but these are called cloud databases. Cloud databases mean um, for example, if you use Oracle database, right, we have to install the Oracle database. We means SBI client. For example, if SBI using the Oracle database, right, they have to install the Oracle database. But if the SBI want to use the Google BigQuery, they no need to install the Google BigQuery. It is automatically installed by the Google company only. For example, I want to log into the SBI portal. What I will do simply, I will go to Google Chrome. I'll simply type onlinesbi.com. Okay, so onlinesbi.com. This is a server. We are not installing this server. Already SBI company installed the server and they are managing these servers. So like that, Google BigQuery is the database that is a cloud database. That means already Google company is maintaining this Google BigQuery and they will simply sell these databases to the SBI bank or pharma companies like that. So this is about databases. I'm just trying to repeat one more time. So what is the meaning of database means? We will use databases to store the data or information. Okay. So we use to store the data information. All these are the clients actually. So these are the file type databases and these are the server type databases. Now, so this is about databases. Just give me a second. Okay. Now we will see why do we use Tableau. We just have seen that what is the meaning of database and why do we use database. Now we will see why do we use Tableau. Mhm. Just let me open one more paint. Uh, See, so initially what I will do is, initially I will take Excel as a database and I will slowly try to convert that Excel into a like any database like MySQL database. We are using mostly MySQL database for practice purpose. So, so initially I will use Excel as a database to store the information. Okay. Now, why do we use Tableau? So we use Tableau to aggregate and analyze the data. Okay, so just before we learned what is the meaning of data and where we store the data. Now, what is the meaning of why do we use Tableau? Means we use Tableau to aggregate and analyze the data, and we use Tableau to generate visualization with this aggregated data. Okay. So simply we use Tableau to aggregate and analyze the data. And not only once we aggregate the data, right, then we'll try to use the visualizations. So what are the visualizations means? Like we may use, I'm just simply writing one or two. Most of the time we will use bar charts, pie charts, and line charts, and etc. We have so many visualizations based on the requirement. So once we aggregate the data, then after aggregation we'll try to analyze the data, and so after the aggregation, and we'll try to represent the data in terms of a particular chart type like bar chart, pie chart, or something like that. Okay. Now, when I say aggregation, so I'm just saying that we use Tableau to aggregate and visualize the data. Sorry, aggregate and analyze the data. So, but in general, where we have the data actually, we have the data in the databases. Okay, we have the data in the databases. So we will connect to this data from the Tableau. And once we connect the data from, once we connect to the data from the Tableau, after that we will aggregate the data. So just try to understand. So we have, when I say aggregation here, then I can say two types of data. So first we have non-aggregated data. So where we have this non-aggregated data means we have the non-aggregated data in the databases. That is what, right? So we have some data in the databases, right? So that data is called non-aggregated data. Okay. So I can say versus here. Now we will connect to this non-aggregated data from Tableau, and after that we will aggregate the data. So that is the meaning of aggregate. So that is like we have two types of data: non-aggregated data and aggregated data. So I'll simply try to show you the diagram, how this will flow. So just go to our website. So you see some architecture type of thing here, Tableau architecture like that. You see, this is the data flow. So we have some data in the databases. Okay, so this is we have database here, we have Tableau here, we have Tableau server here, and we have some users here. Okay, so in the database we have data. So we will connect to this data. From databases, we will get this data into Tableau. So in the Tableau, what we will do is, in the Tableau, we aggregate the data. And after aggregating the data, we'll try to, so we'll aggregate the data first. Okay, so for that purpose, we will use the Tableau desktop. So mainly, we have the data in the databases, that is called non-aggregated data. And by connecting to that database from Tableau, in that Tableau, we will aggregate the data. Okay, so later I will tell you why do we use Tableau server. So Tableau desktop means, so I told you two tools, right? Tableau desktop. So we install it in our local system. Okay, we install Tableau desktop in local system. Okay, so I installed my Tableau desktop in my local system, and I will aggregate the data. Okay, so let give me a sec. Okay, so Tableau desktop is the one which we install in the our local system. Okay, so just let me go to my Tableau desktop and let me show you how it looks like actually. So once you install the Tableau desktop, right, then you can see a symbol like this. You can simply double click on this. It will take some time to open here. So I'm just trying to think that we can proceed for Tableau server. Okay, so it is opening. Yeah. So when you double click on this, right, so it will take some time to open actually. So it is the interface of the Tableau desktop. When you open the Tableau desktop, you will see this type of thing here, this type of interface here. Now, from this data, what I told you is like, from Tableau desktop, we have to connect to the databases. Okay, so if you are using Microsoft Excel, right, now you see we have a Microsoft Excel option here. If you're using CSV file, you can see text file option here. You can connect to PDF files, spatial files, JSON files also. And if you're using Oracle database, Amazon Redshift, Google BigQuery, MySQL, right, you can go to these options. If you click on the more options, right, now you can see here more databases. You can see here more databases. You can simply go to this search box. For example, if you are using PostgreSQL, you can simply type Postgre here, and you can see the database like that. Okay, so in this class we will be seeing how to connect to the Microsoft Excel and how to aggregate the data. So the main thing here, if you understand what is the difference between the aggregation and non-aggregation, right, then we will be learning. It is easy for you to understand most of the concepts in Tableau. Okay, so first we will see what is the meaning of aggregation. For that, what I will do is I will go to my Microsoft Excel file, and I will enter some sample data in the Microsoft Excel. So I'm just going to the new Excel file here. Okay, so in the Microsoft Excel, we can store the data in sheets actually. So it is a sheet one here. So for simple understanding, right, I'm taking my student data. So everyone knows student data, right? So assume that we have student name here. We have student name, we have marks here, and we have subject also. We have subject and we have marks. Just let me take simple data here. So based on the requirement in the later classes, we'll try to enter more data here, and we will see how to update the data in the Tableau. So for name, I'm just entering My name is Venkat actually. So assume that it is a 10th class data. So I have subject like Telugu. In Telugu, I got 70 marks. So same Venkat person we have, and we have some Hindi subject. See, it is very important. Don't think that we are dealing with simple data. So if you go to real time, right? If any requirement comes to you, then what we will do is sometimes we'll take some sample data and we'll try to analyze that data. We'll try to use the formulas in that simple data, and later we go to our original data like that. So don't think it is a simple data I'm entering here. So we have to try to understand how we have to work on the simple small data. We have to understand what is the data actually. Okay. So Venkat in Telugu he got 70 marks. In Hindi he got like I don't remember actually. Just I'm just entering some random numbers 50. And the same Venkat person and just take only three subjects only. In mathematics I got like some 80 marks. So in the 10th class, this is the not only person, right? We have some more persons also. Like let's take one more person, Ravi, and let's take Telugu subject and just enter 40 marks. For same Ravi. Okay, I'm just entering here science. So assume that sometimes, right, it is not mandatory that. So for sample, I'm just taking this data, but in real time, if it comes right, Venkat is having these three subjects. It is not mandatory that all the persons will have the same type of data. So assume that this person is not he did not write the Hindi and mathematics subjects. He absent for these two subjects like that. Okay. So we are just taking the simple data with two students, Venkat and Ravi. Let's try to save it in our local system. Sorry. Just trying to ask something. Okay. So in my local system, I'm saying it in my desktop here. So the Excel file name I'm giving is B30 test data I'm giving. Okay, B30 test data. So in desktop, I'm saving it. Okay. So this is the data what we have in the Excel file. So what I said you like whatever the data we have in the databases, that is nothing but a non-aggregated data. So sometimes this non-aggregated data also called row level data. Okay. So these are the most frequently used terms like row level data or non-aggregated data. Sometimes based on the type of data, they may use some different dates, but naming convention. But most of the time, we will call non-aggregated data or row level data. So just for the purpose only, I'm explaining why we call it as a row level data. See, Venkat is the person who is repeating in three rows. So three rows is having different data. In one row we have Telugu subject, in other row we have Hindi subject, in other row we have math subject. Okay, so this is the student data, and also similarly Ravi is repeating in two rows. Ravi is repeating in two rows. Now this is called non-aggregated data or row level data. Now, what is the meaning of aggregated data? What is the meaning of aggregation? Okay, I got in different subjects. I got these different marks. Okay, my now when my HOD is asked me, Venkat, what is your total marks? Okay, my HOD is not interested in individual subject marks. My HOD is interested in my overall marks. Why? Because he want to see whether this person is passed in the all the subjects or not. After that, he want to see what is his total marks. So HOD is called one of the user actually. Also, if I take principal, right? Principal is also one type of user. Okay. I'm just telling for the purpose here, just users. So why I am using this user mean, if you go to this our class notes architecture here, right? We have users here. So who are using this data actually? Those are called users. Okay, for the purpose, I'm just writing here users. Okay, my HOD is asking me, Venkat, what is your total marks? He don't want my individual subject-wise marks. He's asking me what is your total marks. Now what I will say, I'll go to this database here. In the database, Venkat is repeating in 3 rows. And in each row, he is having 70 plus 50 plus 80 marks. Now, when I do the summation of all these three, right? When I do the summation of all the Venkat 3 rows, now what is the marks I got here? Total marks is 200. So this 200 is got a aggregated data. Okay, this 200 is called a aggregated data. Now you see total marks of the Venkat is 200. Now when HOD is asking the Ravi also, Ravi, what is your total marks? Now what he will tell, 40 plus 50. So Ravi is having data in the 2 rows. So in one row he has 40 plus 50, like he is like total 90 marks. So this is called aggregated data. So now just from this only, we'll try to give the definition. What is the meaning of aggregation? So aggregation means in database, Venkat is repeating in multiple rows. So for this example only, he is repeating in 3 rows. But if you go to real time, we don't know that person is repeating in how many rows. Maybe he will repeat in real time 1 lakh records, 2 lakh records based on the data actually. If you take some other sales data or something like that, the data may repeat in 1 lakh rows also, 2 lakh rows also, 10 lakh rows also. So we are aggregating these multiple rows. Okay, we are aggregating these multiple rows. Venkat is repeating in 3 rows, but we are aggregating this person to a single row. So aggregation means making multiple rows into a single row. So, in that way, we are making that multiple rows into single row. And what is the total marks of these 3 rows is 200. Okay. So how we are getting this 200 here means Venkat is a single person. So we are simply we have written name one time only here because same person here. But if you go to this marks column, the marks are different for each and every row. So we are doing 70 plus 50 plus 80. So we are doing the summation here. Okay. So by doing the summation, we are aggregating multiple rows into single row, which is called 200. Okay, just give me a second. Okay, like this. So that is the meaning of simple aggregation actually. Okay. So what is the meaning of aggregation means mainly combining multiple rows into single row is called aggregation. In this particular case, how the aggregation is achieved? Aggregation is achieved with the help of sum function, summation. So in the Tableau, we have different types of functions. In those, one of the functions is called summation function. Sum function is called aggregation function. Sum is a aggregation function. Like summation, right? Like summation, we have different aggregation functions like sum, minimum, maximum, average, count, quantity. So like this, based on the requirement, we can use different functions. But for this particular scenario, my requirement is to do the summation. Because of that reason, we can use sum function here. So now what is the meaning of aggregation means combining multiple rows into a single row is called aggregation. You see, Ravi is repeating in 2 rows, but we have aggregated this data into a single row using sum function. Okay, so Ravi is aggregated to single row. Okay, so sometimes it is very difficult to, so we don't do this in Excel file actually. We can do this in Excel file also. But in real time, we have some limitations in the Excel file. Because of that reason, all these type of aggregation we can do in the reporting tools like Tableau. Now let's try to do the same thing in Tableau. I'm just deleting this here. So now go to Tableau here. Just click on the Microsoft Excel. We are connecting to the Excel file database. I saved my Excel in the desktop here. The name of the Excel file is like a B30 test data. Okay. For simplicity, what I'm doing is, so in the sheet one, I have my student data here. Okay, I'm entering one more sheet here in the Excel sheet. In this, I'm having some data like name. Assume that in this sheet two, we have some different data like sales data. Or assume that we have name, marks. For this is a different area. Assume that this is a different area. Okay, I'm just saving it. See here in the Excel file, I have two sheets, sheet one and sheet two. But I want to analyze the data in the sheet one only. I want to analyze the data which is in sheet one. Okay. So just connect to this Microsoft Excel. See, when you click on this, you will see that name here. Just click on open option. Now you see, when you connect to the Microsoft Excel, right, you see this is the interface. So under connections, I can see Microsoft Excel here. My Excel file name is B30 test data here. Under this, I see tables here. Table means if it is a database, we call tables. But if it is an Excel file, we call sheets. So I have sheet one and sheet two here. In sheet one, I have different data. In sheet two, I have different data. But I want to analyze or I want to aggregate the data which is in sheet one. So what I do simply, you can simply drag the sheet one into this area. See, drag tables here. So you can drag your sheet one here. So when I drag sheet one here, what the Tableau will do is Tableau will try to show all the data which we have in the sheet one here. You see, I have student name, I have subject, I have marks here. Okay. It is taking bit time. Yeah. Now you see. Now you see what is happening. So whatever the row level data or whatever the non-aggregated data I have in the sheet one, I can see all the data here. Okay. My sheet one contains 5 rows. If you go to Excel file, you can see 5 rows. And I have 3 fields. 3 fields means student name is one field, subject is one field, marks is one field. So fields are sometimes also called columns. COLUM columns. Okay, I can say field and it is a column. So in the Excel file, I have 3 fields and I have 5 rows. So this is the first row, this is the second row, this is third row, this is fourth row, this is fifth row. So whatever the row level data I have in my sheet one, I can see all the data here. Okay. Now, so a Tableau is a tool which is built similar to that Excel file. So because of that reason, in the Tableau also, you see on the bottom left side here, I can see sheet one here. So just click on this sheet one now. Okay, now just click on the sheet one. When you click on this sheet one, now you see, I can see all the data here. I can see student name. These are the columns I can see. So in the sheet one, what the Tableau will do is, Tableau will not show the data. Tableau will simply show the column names only. Student name, subject, marks. So it is generating some additional fields here. We will learn, we'll try to cover this a bit later. So this is called a data pane. Sorry if I'm taking too slow, but it is these are basics actually, so it will take some time. So this is called data pane. In the data pane, I can see these table names and sheets. That is, table names are nothing but sheets for Excel file and all the columns here. Okay. Now my HOD is asking me to generate a report, right? Like he want to see the student wise total marks. Okay. So what I will do, I'll drag my student name into row shelf here. Okay. So when you drag any field into the row shelf or column shelf, whenever you see this orange color mark, right, then only we have to drop that field there. Okay. So whenever you see that orange color, then you drop your field there. Now I can see Ravi and Venkat. You see, Ravi is repeating in multiple rows in the back end. but Tableau is automatically aggregating that to a single row. Okay, Tableau is automatically aggregating that to each single row. Venkat also repeating in multiple rows in the backend, but Tableau is aggregating that to a single row. Now, what I want is for each student, I want total marks. So simply drag the marks into this text here. So we can drag it to row shelf, column shelf, anywhere also. But for now, I'm just dragging it to text field here, text shelf here. Now you see, for Ravi, it is showing 90 marks. For Venkat, it is showing 200 marks. Okay, now Ravi is aggregated to single row, Venkat is aggregated to single row. See how the Tableau, so I told you, right, how the Tableau is doing this aggregation means it is using sum function. You see, here I can see marks column only, but whenever I drag this into text field, Tableau automatically doing the summation here. Okay, Tableau automatically doing the summation. That means to aggregate the data, default function Tableau is using is summation. So what is the meaning of summation means? Sum of marks. Sum of marks means Tableau will go to the row level data. Tableau go to each row for Venkat and it will do the summation. Okay, like that. Now, okay, I am showing this to the my HOD. My HOD is come to know that okay, Venkat got 200 marks and Ravi got 90 marks. But next question my HOD is asking me is okay, what is the individual subject wise marks for the Ravi and what is the individual subject wise marks for the Venkat? He is asking that question. So I am telling my HOD that okay, you if you want that type of information, I'm just telling the user that okay, user, you can if you want that row level data, if you want to see that row level data within Tableau, don't go to database. If you want to see that row level data within Tableau, then what you can do is you can simply click on the Venkat here. A window will be opened like this. You can just simply click on the last option that is called the view data option. Just click on the view data option. Now a window will be opened here. I can see two tabs here, summary tab and full data tab here. When you click on the full data, I can see all the row level data here. Okay, but the next question the user is asking me is, okay, I don't see here subject column here. Okay, I'm telling the person that you can go to show fields option. In the show field option, you can simply click on the subject. Now you see, first row for Telugu subject he got 70. For second in Hindi he got 50. So in this way, most of the time, in the real time, the users will be want to see the aggregated data and row level data. They want aggregated data initially, but sometime when they have some information, right, they want to see the row level data also. So how to see the row level data within Tableau means in this way. Just click on a particular row, Venkat, just click on the view data option. Just go to full data. If you want to add any fields, you can go to show fields option. You can add fields here and you can simply click on the download option. When you click on the download, it will be downloaded actually. Okay. Initially, you can see only 10,000 rows of data here. In real time also, by default, it will show you 10,000 rows only. If you have more data, then it will show initially 10,000. If you want, you can modify to 300 something, 30,000 like that. Okay. So mainly I want to stress on this point, like why do we use Tableau means if you want to aggregate the non-aggregated data, we'll go for Tableau. Hope you understand. Just give me 5 minutes, I will complete it. So now, why do we use Tableau desktop, Tableau server here? So using the Tableau desktop, I have connected to the Excel database. I created some report here. I created some dashboard here. Okay, what is the dashboard I have? So I created some sheet here. Just assume that I have created some. So this is nothing but a dashboard. Assume that this is a dashboard for now. So I want to save this dashboard now. You can go to file option, simply click on the save option. While saving it, you can save this entire thing in your local system. So it is a like B30. I'm just saving it B30 test dashboard. So we will discuss a bit detail bit later what's the dashboard, what is sheets and all those. So whatever the work I have done till now, okay. So I'm saving that data in my local system. Okay. Assume that I saved my dashboard in my local system. So if I save my dashboard in my local system, how the user will see this dashboard, who is sitting in the America or Canada or England. I saved this dashboard in my local system, but how to share this dashboard to the user who is sitting in the United States or Canada or somewhere in the world, right? How to share this dashboard to the user? How do I share this dashboard to the user? So for the sharing purpose, I will use Tableau server here. So because of that reason, we are using Tableau server. First, we will learn what is the meaning of server. What is the meaning of server means? Servers are those which can be accessed anywhere in the world using Google Chrome or some internet. Servers can be accessed anywhere in the world. So few examples for servers are, I can go to Google Chrome here. I can simply type here gmail.com. Okay, gmail.com is a server which is maintained by Google company, or I can say simply ICICI.com. ICICI.com is a server which is maintained by ICICI person. You can log into this ICICI banking anywhere in the world. So that is the meaning of server. Server means it can be accessed anywhere in the world. So because of that reason, what I will do is, once I create these dashboards in my local system, I'll go to server option here. Within the desktop here, I can see server option. Now I'll log into that server here. I'll sign into that server. Just click on connect to option, and after we have to enter our username and password. Once we enter all these details, now click on the publish workbook option. So this is a dashboard, or we call sometimes workbook here. I will tell you the difference between what is the meaning of dashboard and what is the meaning of workbook here a bit later. But you see, we can publish this workbook to a particular server here. So when I publishing means I am saving this work to the Tableau server. So when I save this work to the Tableau server, and as it is a Tableau server, right? Now users can log into this Tableau server from different locations and they can access these dashboards or workbooks. Okay, so because of that reason, we will use Tableau servers. So Tableau desktop is for development purpose, and Tableau server is for sharing your workbooks to the. So the general naming convention in real time what we use here is dashboard. Dashboard is the general name used by the users. Or dashboard, or sometimes they'll call reports. This is the most common word the users will use. Okay. Okay, sorry. I did not write the main thing here, sharing purpose. For sharing dashboards and reports to the users, we will use Tableau servers. So if you go to our like architecture diagram here, so you see, first from Tableau desktop, I will connect to database and I will aggregate the data and I will create the workbooks or dashboards from the Tableau desktop. And after that, I will publish these workbooks to the Tableau server. Now, users in the different locations will log into this Tableau server and they will access the dashboards. They will access the dashboards. In real time, we will be having three types of environments or servers: development, QA server, and production server. We'll see this one by one in later classes. Okay, so this is the main use of Tableau and Tableau desktop and Tableau server. If anyone have any questions, you can ask. We'll try to send this to your WhatsApp mobile, all these things. Okay, so this is for today class. Anyone have any question? I can't say like that, but if you go for Tableau, we have some other BI tools are there, right? So all these are BI tools. But if you go for example, ClickView, right? ClickView is the oldest tool which involves most of the scripting and coding and like coding thing of like that. Okay, so Tableau, Power BI, ClickSense, Tableau, Power BI, ClickSense. I can say these three are the three tools which are most widely using in nowadays. Why? Because in these we don't need to write most of the coding here. What we can do is simply I can simply I can drag and drop the fields into the column shelf or like row shelf, and in that way, easily we can create the dashboards. So yeah, we'll send the recording session. So I can say in the market now, I can say Tableau, Power BI, and ClickSense are most widely using tools. Yeah.
Uh, See, Venkat, you have showed in the previous example that aggregation details like when the user wants to add the column marks or something.
Mhm.
Not here. Yeah, yeah. If you see, if I go and keep the cursor on the Venkat, on the name of Venkat, we are getting some pop-up, right?
Mhm.
To check
Okay.
the aggregate, the row level data.
Mhm.
Then in that you have used the option show add the field for subject or something. Yeah, yeah, this one. After go to this one. Here you can show field something you have added, right?
Yeah.
Right. So users will get these options.
Yeah.
Actually,
Yes.
in dashboards, we will not give the. I mean, we will give a restrictions to not do anything by the user, because if they do anything, maybe the dashboard will it affects
They can.
to change the
They
data
can.
something. So we
Yeah.
don't allow them, right?
In Tableau, what will happen is they can see the data only. They can't do anything actually. Maybe
Okay.
in the ClickSense or ClickView, I know that they can sometimes they will generate charts also. But in Tableau, it won't do that actually. So
Okay.
they can simply view the data only. Whatever they do, right, that will not affect
Okay.
the main dashboard.
Oh, okay. So how can they add if they want to see? Just now you explained this example, right?
Okay. So for that
Sorry, I
we have
got doubt. That's why I'm sorry.
yeah. So for that we have one more option
As
which
a
is called
developer, I can go like this. I can add a column which I want to go based on the granularity, based on the multiple columns, what data is coming, how it is aggregating based on which column. But as a user, I don't want to that thing. I want the see. You just showed me this is the total summation of the Venkat. But after that, when I click on that, keep the cursor on the Venkat, it's showing to see the total number of rows, which subject I got